What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Seventh Floor podcast, where we review TVs and movie things on this channel. It's been a while since we've been back, guys, and we're going to be reviewing today Stranger Things Season 5, Volume number 2 right over here, guys. And in Volume number 2, it picks up immediately after the chaos of the mid-season cliffhanger, where we learn that the Upside Down isn't just a parallel dimension. It's actually a wormhole or bridge connecting Earth to a much older, darker realm called the Abyss. The core conflict revolves to Will Byers and Holly Wheeler. Will realizes that Vecna isn't just kidnapping children, he is using them as vessels to amplify his reach. Meanwhile, Max finally wakes up from her coma after escaping Vecna's mind prison, nicknamed Camazotz, reuniting with Lucas in an emotional scene. And I gotta admit, I did enjoy that scene. However, the victory is short-lived while Max returns to the real world. Holly does not. She wakes up trapped in the Abyss, signaling that Vecna's plan is entering its final stage. In a major character turn, Nancy and Jonathan officially end their romantic relationship. I didn't care. While trapped in the Hawkins lab, deciding to move forward as friends. Yay! The volume ends with the group reunited but terrified, knowing that the final battle is just days away, guys. And the big reveal is that the Upside Down is confirmed as an unstable bridge. And that was pretty cool to actually understand that type of concept right there, you know, and I can actually go with that. Max's fate, she finally wakes up and she sees Lucas is there, and I thought that was a really cool, powerful scene. Will's powers. Will discovers briefly that he can access Vecna's abilities and he can move Vecna, and I thought that was pretty cool too. Nancy's choice for the love triangle, I thought that was a stupid key point. As well as something that happened at the end that we'll talk about later on in the program, guys. And the three episodes that consist in Volume 2 is the Shock Jock, which is basically the group takes over the radio station and intercepts Vecna, and they pretty much get into the consciousness, and they're able to talk to Max and Holly. Chapter 6, which is Escape from Camazotz, where we see Max and Holly Wheeler escape. And we also discover the exotic matter that's holding the Upside Down together. And then finally, The Bridge, where we learn of the plans that they're going to do to try to take down Vecna, collapse the bridge, as well as some revelations that happen in this episode. Guys, we are here with our crew right here. We got Slider, Metabeast, as well as my wife, Dee. Guys, I'm going to go down the line and just kind of let's get right into this and let's break this down. And it's going to be a very casual conversation because we're just going to encompass Volume 2 as a whole. We're not going to break down each episode, but just the entire thing generalized right here, guys. So starting off with Slider, give me your impressions on Volume 2 as a whole.
Man, yeah, I think it was good for kind of like the character development, you know, getting to, you know, it depends on what characters. I thought like Steve and Dustin's relationship like was good. You know, I thought that was one of the best scenes in the whole thing, you know, was when he was putting the ladder over, you know, because it was the dark matter destabilized the wormhole and, you know, it was kind of like melting. And, you know, Dustin said, I can't lose anybody else. And like, you know, that was after they had just fought and everything. And, you know, I just thought that was a really good scene, you know, and then the whole, I mean, I think it was a lot of just like filler kind of explanation. There was a lot of like explaining what was going on, you know, and it just kind of felt like there was a lot of filler in, you know, in it. And the big reveal is that it was a wormhole. I think we all kind of thought about that's what it was, you know, but that like the Upside Down is actually the bridge. You know, I like that. That's interesting. But yeah, I just I don't know, like it just didn't, I think I'm like more upset, like just trying to think about it from like a writing perspective, is that the Duffer Brothers said that this was going to be like a dark Christmas and all this stuff they kind of led up to is that like somebody was going to die. And I think like with this kind of a story, like how Vecna's like this huge big bad, like they want him to be like Darth Vader. And yet none of the main characters have died yet. And I'm not sure if they actually are going to kill anybody off like at this point, because I thought they would have done it. But I mean, even Star Wars has killed people off. Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, like there's people who die when you're fighting somebody like this. And to not have anybody die yet, it's just, I don't know. It just kind of makes it like where it all seems like it's not real. Like it's not a real threat. Like he's not anything if he can't kill any of them, So I don't know. That was just kind of my good and bad with it.
I want to touch on that because let's look at like the Avengers movies, right? They kill Coulson in the first movie. We have entire trilogies of that movie, right? But they kill one of the most beloved characters in the beginning of the movie because it gave emotional weight. It allowed the script to really kind of flesh out the final battle, right? And they could have done this here too many times over, right?
Yeah.
And that's the big thing that I have my problem here as well is there's a lot that was said and we haven't seen it yet. And if we haven't seen it yet, are they going to cram it all into the final episode? Because we only got 2 hours. And I know 2 hours can be a lot, but the way that they've been pacing this out, it feels like, I don't know. This feels like a Game of Thrones or even a Lost type of thing. But let's go to MetaBeast. MetaBeast. And guys, just for context, MetaBeast has been catching up from season 1 all the way to season 5. So he knows it all right now, to be very quite honest. Like, in fact, he might be the lucky or unlucky one, to be very quite honest. But give us your take, mainly, on the overall series as well as this volume. Let's go with the overall series. How you like it so far?
It's been fun to watch. Season 1 was probably my favorite, I think. Of course, that if show's going to be good, it's got to be good season 1, or you're probably not going to get any more seasons anyway. But sure. I have going into season 2, I'm like, okay, they're continuing this. I had no idea it was the same storyline throughout. I thought maybe it had different
anthology.
Some different Stranger Things occur. And then come season 3, I'm like, okay, we're doing this again. How? And it's played out. I guess maybe 3 and 4 I didn't care for quite so much. Season 5 has been fun. Binge watching this and trying to catch up, you really notice they're very long. I thought for sure I'd have caught up a couple episodes Severed Floors ago, but no, it took some time to get through them. I'm trying to think. And which season was it that she met the sister? That one was kind of
2.
That was season 2, really?
That was season 2, yeah.
I was gonna say that far back. Wow.
Yeah, she met the sister, I believe, in episode 6.
Okay. I thought it was later than that, but anyway, I don't know that I didn't care for that. I'm like, okay, I don't understand what's going on here, but I
you and the entire fandom.
Yeah,
it was a way to do so they could reuse them again or her again, right?
Yep.
This season.
Which I guess doesn't surprise me. And it didn't surprise me. They kept replacing the person who led the Hawkins laboratory. I think this lady who's been in the
Dr. K.
Yes, most recently is probably the most vicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because she has no emotional ties to these characters, right? Like a good example is Brenner. He loved 11 like a daughter,
Yeah.
She called him Papa. And then you had Owens, who I thought was going to be another villain, but I actually liked him. And he was like the cool guy, right? Like he was the guy that was between light and dark. And I enjoyed him. And even in season 4, which he disappeared, he was really trying to help 11 hone her skills. And then they all got screwed by the government, right? And now you got Dr. K. And she's got no emotional ties to them, right? She wants to make babies.
She has a goal, and she plans to go through with it. One of the biggest things that I found strange was coming in, and the town's on lockdown. It's and the way and most of the people just go about their daily lives like there's nothing, no big deal. There's no big crack in the earth that just happened.
It's Hawkins.
It's Hawkins. Strange things happen, but then at the same time, like other places where like they, you know, they believe what the government says or what the military, when
That's
they're
true.
under military law, it's like that's whether you believe it or not, that's just what you have to do, right? Or you're gonna
but I mean, the way some people just went about their lives like there's nothing going on when there's obviously
there's nothing under those steel
huge
those
going
steel
on.
grates.
They were all oblivious. It was in the 80s, right? They didn't know.
Which, you know, the Candy Striper girl should have at least had a little bit more belief in I don't remember names. So
it's okay.
But girls,
belief in her that there is something crazy going on, which, you know, of course she come to find out firsthand that there is something going on. But
you know, you make a good point. Like even Karen, she's all like, "What do you mean an upside down?" I'm like, "You don't see the metal grates on the ground? You were there, like in season 4 at the finale, right, where you saw all that stuff coming out of the, you know, like the upside down snowflakes."
Yeah.
None of that like dawned on you.
Out of sight, out of mind.
You know, Will went missing.
And what else is there? I'm glad Max got out. But I was expecting her, you know, you guys were talking about but none of the main characters are dying, which does surprise. Not that I wanted them to, it would have been terrible, but I do feel that something should have happened by now.
Yeah.
I guess will remain to be seen in the final episodes what if anybody does. You know, you thought the sheriff guy was dead, but no, they brought him back to life.
Oh, Hopper. So here's the thing about Hopper. Hopper was supposed to die in season 3, but people loved him so much they brought him back. Just like 11. 11 was not supposed to come back. She was supposed to die in season 1. So it's crazy that all these main characters that we love so much that actually push the storyline was not even supposed to be here.
I wonder.
And Steve too.
Who would have been the hero?
Oh, and Steve was supposed to die too. Honestly, I think they were trying to make Will and Mike guys, like all of them be like kind of the main heroes. Steve? But Steve Harrington, the hair.
He's like the
okay, yeah. I was surprised he made it through the whole. I was going to say that too. Was very surprised. I didn't, you know, of course, I didn't like him at first at all.
Of course, everyone hated him.
He did. He
was the hair.
I feel he has proven himself pretty good. And I've come to like him a lot better than I did in season 1 and 2.
Same.
It took a little while.
I love hearing this from Metabeast because Metabeast, we went through exactly what you're feeling right here. You know, with Steve and all this other stuff, and also season 3 with the mall being like probably not one of our favorite ones. Like everything you're going through, we've gone through it already, right? So it's just very refreshing to hear it again and to talk about it.
And the not Russian guy.
Yeah. Murray.
I liked, you know, it was fun the first time I met him. I'm like, this guy's okay. He's kind of funny. I did not expect him to continue on with as big of a party as he has. Yeah. Sometimes I think it's a little bit too much with him.
He gets a little creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just things he randomly says.
And I mean, I see he's, you know, the comic relief, I guess you would call him, because that's any time now he comes in, doesn't matter the situation, he's got something funny to say. So I don't know. I liked him more in the beginning than I do now, I guess.
Yeah, I think Murray is overused, like Santa Murray and all that other stuff. I just think it's just super overused. But yeah, I get it. But overall, for volume 2, the last season, how you've been liking it so far? Anything that you disliked?
Let's see. So I didn't like that Holly didn't make it out. That pissed me off. I thought that might affect her big because, you know, Max got out, and then she didn't. She almost did.
Yeah.
Well, she almost probably died, I guess. He probably saved her life. Actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I guess I had not paid enough attention because I really didn't understand what was going on with that thing that they shot at, which I guess is the bridge or whatever, the worm part of the worm.
So that's no, that's exotic matter. Okay. And so that's sustaining the bridge, and so by shooting at it, she'll basically interrupt that sustainability, and then the bridge will collapse.
And I didn't understand the melting.
Oh, it's probably because that thing was hot. Yeah, that's very true, because Holly was on that exotic matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that made no sense either. But you know what?
Well, it wasn't like hot. They didn't melt. I mean, stuff melted. It was like it was melting, but it wasn't melting because it was hot. It was melting. I don't know why. Maybe
the molecules were unstable, and that's what was going on.
Yeah, but then like, why only like certain? Because wouldn't like everything just kind of melt, not just parts of like a room?
You would think
if it was all going.
And where were they when they discussed? They were in the Hawkins lab, right?
Lab.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out, because those two had their revelations about their relationship. And
so speaking of that, so how would you guys feel if they, you know, they were all honest with each other and then they didn't make it out?
Well, but that was the point. I think this was the point right here. They thought they were dying. You know what I mean? This was like an entire Titanic scene all over again, but in Hawkins' lab with a bunch of melting stuff around them. They thought they were toast, and so he was admitting everything that. But like, I mean, like, they admitted that they loved each other, and they also admitted that they weren't good for each other. Is that really what you would do at this very last moment of your, like? And I thought they were gonna die. I like, this is like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
They are finally gonna do something, right? Because it just makes sense, and it would make sense that they just drown in this thing, but they didn't, right?
Yeah. So what would have happened if that did happen? Would that have made this story different for you guys?
I think so. I think it would have made it more impactful, because, like, you know, what are the repercussions after, you know, two siblings pass away, right? The Byers as well as the Wheelers right here, and these are two strong characters. Everyone loves these guys, right? What would you think Steve would do, right? Or all these guys? But then that never happened. So
that's the thing. And
I think it would have made it so it was more realistic. Like, this is what I was talking about. I think this would have been a perfect time to kill off at least one of them. You know, if not both of them would have been like crazy, but I mean, still, it would have been something. Like, just to do nothing, it kind of makes it like, you know, this exotic matter is so dangerous, and everything's melting around them, but yet it's not that dangerous because nothing happens to, you know, it's like, it's to the point where it's like they just always survive, and that's what kind of people are expecting now. So I think now in the final 2 hours, if they do kill off some people, then people might even be more mad because now they think they're safe. So maybe they're going to do it. I don't know, but I just, I don't know.
I think one or both of them should have died. There was opportunity for that. Steve probably should have died at some point as well, or Max.
Yeah. Well, I think someone should have, like, kicked the bucket right on episode 1, like right off the bat, really shock. Like, it'd be a big shocker, but that never happened. But anyways, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So my question was, when I was seeing it, you know, he tried the door and the doorknob broke, but the doorknob is really close to part of said door. So couldn't he have also like broken into the door jam part?
Yeah, you would think with all the melting, the door would have gave away EC, but
put through it, you know, something could have happened. Or like Steve like actually went on the ladder and fell. That would have also like
one of my favorite parts. The look on her face when she grabbed the what do they call them? The boombox, the tape player.
Oh, Holly.
Oh yeah.
And just whap that. Fuck yes. I love that.
That was awesome. And she like took a couple more down too.
Shows how terrible, excuse me, little kids can be. Jesus.
Yeah.
Horrible. That was fine.
And she was like almost to the door too.
And she gets pushed down the stairs too.
Yeah. And then
it's a stark contrast for these kids, right? Like in the last volume, they were like being saved, and they were all like on board with all this, and now they're like drinking the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? So it's very interesting in what's going on here. But Dee, let's go to you and give us your take on Volume 2 as a whole.
Volume 2 as a whole, I liked Volume 1 better. Just like this one, Volume 2, it was 3 episodes, and it kind of all meshed all into like one big long story. But I just felt like there's parts of it missing, or not what I was expecting for like the second to the last, before the finale. For sure, I thought people were gonna die, or something tragic really happened to one or two of the characters, and just I liked the different groups and different paneling from the group in the upside, the group in real life, and Holly and Max on their side journey. But I think if it felt just kind of out of place, or maybe just too much of that, like going back and forth. I mean, we were going in progression of how their journeys were going and eventually would tie into each other, but I think just too many of back and forth between all the parties. I don't know, just kind of wasn't as fluid as I thought it would be. And just some stuff like really didn't need to be put out there and waste precious 5 to 10 minutes of our time in watching the episode. I don't know. I have some questions, but yeah. It's like, so for me, these 3 current episodes were not as great for me as the first 4 for this season. Okay. And another thing is, like, for me, like Max, she's always been for me like kind of one of the stronger ones, at least like in her mind, like a strong character. But I feel like in this one they didn't really do her justice. Like she was kind of like, I tried all that, blah, blah, blah. Maybe she's tried for 2 years, that she's like almost felt like she wanted to. It was easier for her to like maybe give up and not keep going. And then, you got the little girl who was like scared shitless before, and she was Holly, and she was the one that was like trying to get her to like, let's try another way. Did you try this? And then, and throughout their journey together until the very end, when she hears the music and she finds, her portal, and then she tells this little girl who's trying to find herself, hey, sorry, this is the end of the line for you. You can't come with me. You got to go and find your own way. Right. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm a little girl. Like, I haven't been here for 2 years like you do. Like, I'm brand new to this thing.
And I thought we were getting out together.
Yeah.
She knows she's going back to Vecna too. Like, that's the horrible part. Yeah, she's going to have a thing stuck in her throat. You're sending
her back to the monster.
Peace out.
Like, right. Like, but you don't need music, but you can find your own hero, or you are your own hero. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
It happens right when they're about to leave, too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot to mention, you can't come with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hide at your house. Try to find it
yeah.
your house. Find a way to your house.
Right?
In a very
But
scary place that
in a
you've
very
never been
scary
in.
place. So I don't know. Just that part for me was
That's all
yeah, it
writing
was
right there, though.
just
That's all the writing right there, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. So I think I mean, I'm not a writer, so I don't know what they could have done, but not that.
All right. Well, I take it that we're all kind of like divisive on this one. Let me talk about the positive first, right? Because we learned a lot in this volume of what's really going on here. Like a good example is we learned that Will can tap more into like the hive mind with certain tricks, right? I think they like zap some Demogorgon and he's able to like control Vecna, which is also very interesting because if Vecna's supposed to be like some kind of Terminator crazy guy, how come Will's able to like control him all of a sudden? So that was a little bit of a interesting thing right there. But what I loved about this entire volume is we got to learn more about what the Upside Down was, even though, yeah, you know, I think Christine said it down there. You know, how come no one really noticed it as a wormhole before? I get that. But I do like this. I like that we learned a lot about this. There were some really cool character moments as well. I thought Holly really came into her own. They spent a lot of time with Holly in this season, I have to admit. Another cool moment that I really liked was in the Upside Down when Nancy shoots the exotic matter and you see those waves going all over the Upside Down and it hits the wall. And then that's the revelation where they find out they see Steve's beamer get sucked right into the void right here. And like, you know, if you're a fan of like time travel shows like Doctor Who, then, you know, you kind of know what the void is. The void is basically nothing. You know what I mean? It's a space outside of time and space where nothing exists. It's pretty much dead space. And that's what we're looking at right here. And so I thought that was really cool as well to see that revelation. And my favorite scene, guys, I have this scene right here where it's very action packed. The music just kind of like turns up and Elle doesn't even think. She's like, I'll clear a path. And Hopper's like, no. And then she just rips at it. She rips through the trees. All this shit's flying at you, right? And they're trying to get to the gate. And I thought that was just a really cool action scene right there. You've got Callie right behind her, like trying to like, you know, dodge shit. And you don't know what happened.
She wasn't doing anything. She was just walking.
Yeah, she's kind of a B character, but I really enjoyed this scene. We also got to learn why Callie was kidnapped. We find out Dr. K has been taking her blood to try to reduplicate the experiments that they did with Henry. We also find out that Henry was the originator for the blood for all these other kids like Callie as well as 11. So if you really think about it, Henry's kind of like their father if you think about it. So there's that Darth Vader type of vibe as well with this, right? That could happen in the season finale. We also find out that there are babies that have that and mothers that are dying in the Upside Down because of the blood. And that's why Dr. K wants to find 11 so badly. So we find all this stuff out, which is very helpful for, I think, the pacing of where we're going with the season. We also get, what's his name? Who is the teacher? He's in
Clark. We
get to see Clark, and he's finally able to, like, you know, join the team. Schnookums. With his balloons and so all of that is all happening throughout all of this chaos as well. And let's also fast forward to Escape from Camazotz. This is where things got better for me. I really enjoyed the hospital scene where the Demogorgons show up and they're being chased, and he's got to play the freaking music. He knows that the music's going to attract the Demogorgons. You have Robin telling him you got to turn it off, and he won't do it because that's how much he loves Max so much.
And like, he's carrying her all the way from her room.
He is freaking carrying her, guys.
I know.
Like right here, this guy is carrying her to the last point where he's hiding. They're all there, right? And who shows up? The mom who won't die.
Karen.
You know what I mean? Karen shows up. She throws, and I don't know how she comes up with this. She throws an oxy bottle into like one of the dryers, and it blows up, kills a bunch of Demogorgons. And so I really enjoyed that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, because okay, so I kind of like that. I knew the mom was going to be the one to save them. It was the obvious thing to come. I kind of like what she did. I still think she should have died, but I could understand her determination. She's not happy. They took my baby.
Yeah.
But when the monsters are looking at it, and the one goes, I was like, you gotta be shit. And then it blows up. I'm like, no.
Scooby, man.
Did not do this.
Roar? Derby?
What is this?
No.
What am I looking at?
No.
It's like, ooh,
I get it.
treats.
No. But there's been a lot of those silly things that's happened this season. They've had a lot of silliness happen this season, but that's okay.
It's the 80s. We just go with it.
It's the 80s. We go with it. But I still enjoyed this scene because then this scene got us into the bridge, and that's where she finally wakes up. And me, I'm a softie, guys. I know you guys aren't like me, but I really resonated with this scene because this reminded me of season 1 where Mike runs home to his mom and that same song is playing, and Mike is bummed because 11 died, right? But in this instance, you hear that same song from season 1 playing, and Max is waking up, and you see the interactions between Max and also Lucas. They're a couple. They love each other. They've been apart from each other. And at the same time, they talk to each other and say, you were there, I could hear you, and all that. So that resonated a lot with me. And so I really enjoyed that scene, and I thought this was really good. So the start of the last episode, the penultimate, as they like to call it, before the series finale, it started off really, really good, in my opinion. We had the reunion with everybody, and then I felt like midway through, it started falling flat for me because the pacing started getting off. They come up with a plan, and that's cool. And I thought Steve came up with a really badass plan where basically they're going to wait until the bridge collapses, because essentially the plan, as I kind of said in the beginning of the synopsis, if I can find out where all this stuff is Vecna is going to try to bring these two worlds together with the kids. And by having the kids, he's using their minds to amplify his mind to bring these worlds together. And so I thought that was really cool that Steve thought, okay, well, we'll go in the upside down and we'll wait till the abyss starts getting closer, and we'll climb up the tower like a beanstalk to go up into the abyss and try to save Holly and the kids. So there's a big plan that they have right here. 11 apparently is going back to the Hawkins Light building right there into the bath, where she's going to try to connect with Vecna through his mind, right? So they're going to do all that. Yeah. There's a lot going on here. And my big issue is there's a lot that they've set the stage for in this volume or in this series finale that I feel like they're not going to answer. And it's suffering from the same tropes as Lost, as Game of Thrones, as all these other big ass freaking shows that we've watched in the past that kind of suffer from their finales, right? Will they be able to tie this all up? And I've been reading things saying they were going to tie it up. Then I read that we're going to have a dark Christmas. Then I read that it's going to be a very emotional New Year's and all this stuff. But there is no stakes yet. That's my big issue.
If I was reading on the screen there when we first started about the season finale leaves it open, there's going to be a spin-off of some sort.
Yeah.
So my guess is there's probably things that won't be answered. Possibly to be answered in the spin-off, but is that really a good idea, do you think? Who's going to be the spin-off?
Well, they said none of the original characters were going to go in the spin-off, so they should really seal the deal with this. I think the big issue with them is they got so bloated with this series. So many characters.
Spin-off without
they said it was going to be in a different decade, like a different time, to tell a different part of the story. So maybe either back to the 50s, or maybe forward into the 90s or the 2000s, or maybe present day. They just said it was going to be a different decade and a different Stranger Things.
And they got a cartoon coming out with the same characters as a prequel. So there's that too. And they're going to explore what happened between seasons that we didn't see. So there's going to be that too, to bring back the old fans. But for this one specifically, I feel like they're not going to answer a lot, and I guess that's okay because with Lost, it was always about the characters. But since there's so many characters, like there's a lot. Like what happened to Dustin's girlfriend? You know what happened to like freaking Turnaround? You know what I mean? What happened to her? Right, Dusty Buttons. She's gone. What happened to? Is his name Hogart? What happened to the surfer dude?
Pothead dude. Yeah.
Yeah, the pothead dude from season 4, or
yeah,
Dr. Owens.
He's in California.
Yeah, he's surfing, man.
But he was in season 4 finale. I don't know.
I know. But
you know what I mean? Like
lives in California. Do you think he wants to
like that?
How did he get out? Because they were in Hawkins, right? How the hell did he get out? Because they shut the fucker down.
He drove out fast.
He
with, like,
drove
the
out
DJ guy, right?
before they closed it off.
I don't know.
Got a surfboard and 11 helped him fly away.
But don't get me wrong now, okay? I really like what they're setting up. I think some of the pacing is a little off. I'm still enjoying the season, but just certain things that they're doing or saying and not coming to fruition is my frustration with the whole thing.
I don't know if it's a cop out or just more money. It's probably for the money.
Probably money.
Doing the cartoon and the spinoff to try to possibly.
Oh, 1,000%. Now let's talk about something that I know a lot of people don't want to talk about. Let's talk about this scene. And
hug time.
Okay, yes, let's talk about hug time, guys. Now, I want to be very sensitive about the topic because I'm all about this. How do I say this without being political? I'm all about revelations in anything, right? But for me, what didn't work for this scene, and everyone knows what we're talking about. This is where Will comes out and he tells everyone that he doesn't like girls, and that's okay because guys, we knew this, all right? Because literally, it was addressed in season 3 where Mike comes out and says, "It's not my problem. You don't like girls." There you go. Yeah. And then throughout that entire time, we knew. It's kind of like, and if you want to come out and say these things, that's fine. We had a whole entire season to do that. Yeah. They waited till the very last moment, right where it's life and death, guys, where the world's ending. Guys, I have to tell you this. Everyone needs to know this, right? And I really thought we were going to like learn something that he was in Vecna's mind, but no. He came out and told everyone what was going on. Now, if you guys remember in the 80s, this was a very divisive topic. A lot of people hid because of
I know exactly what he was going through. I mean, except for the whole Vecna thing, of course.
Well, yeah. But wait. Oh, I know you're gonna get passionate for this. This has to do with the storyline. Then we can get into the revelation, right? For me, as a storyline, they could have done this throughout the whole season and gave this some room to breathe, right? Like giving the character the room to breathe, giving him his time to shine for coming out. But like right at the end, we get this. We get 5 minutes of monologue on this, right? And for me, my big problem with this is it didn't help the story. I mean, granted, I know what they're trying to do. It's like the whole thing, like Vecna knew his secret. He had to come out and tell everybody so he could be a better person and be more powerful. I get that. That could have happened the last episode or the one before that, right? There could have been a revelation for that. But they shoved it at the very end. And that's just what we got to deal with, guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what they did. I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. That's just what came out. I'm just not happy with the delivery on the timing of when they did it. Because it's right at the end of the world. They're literally like Will comes in, not Will, I'm sorry. Mike comes in and said, "Excuse me, Hopper is waiting for us." You know what I mean? We need to leave. Hold on. Let's just pump the brakes really quick. I know the world's ending. I know we got this plan. We got to go to the DMZ and get and there's a time limit, but wait, you know what I mean? Because I need a little bit more time. That's my only issue with the scene. Other than that, I think a lot of it is hate baiting online, and I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just saying the delivery part they should have done this a little bit either or at the beginning of this episode, not at the very end, not when we literally have minutes to the end right there. I didn't think it had an emotional felt. That's me. Go ahead. Who's next?
Yeah. Did you want to go, Metabeast?
I know what he was going through, and I just, for me, I mean, I don't think I just think they could have left that whole part out. I mean, it's one thing, you know, to hint at that he is, and that's fine. I mean, it confused actually, and I honestly, if we go back to, I guess it was in this season. She was in season 3, right?
With Robin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve just can't get a girl, can he?
No.
Anyway, but you know, it threw me for a loop there when the next season started, and I'm like, is she? Oh, yeah, she is. She's into a okay, fine, that's fine. And you know, you get these subtle hints about Will, and that's fine too. I don't know. It really kind of, having grown up in that time and that way, it's I don't know. It kind of bothers me. It does kind of bother me. I don't know how to explain why. I didn't think
it was not necessary.
I didn't think it was necessary. No, why?
Well, plus how they did it too.
I kind of hate it when they bring in, I mean, stuff. I mean, yes, there'll be some elements of it, but I think sometimes they go too far trying to. I just feel that they're making a statement of some sort, and I don't like it.
100%, they're making a statement. You're right, but then you know what? Disney does this. There's a lot of these. There's a lot of these studios pushing this type of agenda, and it's like, you know, we get it. You know what I mean? And it can be done and handled a different way, but they wanted you to feel it the way that they gave it to you, and it didn't work.
And pushing the agenda on people does not make them any happier.
No.
At all. So if people were disappointed with it, I'm totally behind it. And like I said, I went through that myself. So
yeah.
I mean, my feelings is I just kind of think it was unnecessary the way they did it. It kind of made it feel like it was like a public broadcasting like announcement that wouldn't really happen that way. I mean, like the way Robin did it, I think they did a much better way to do it, you know, because it was weird. I mean, and I think everybody knew that, you know, he was gay, you know, from like season 3 kind of had hints, and definitely by 4, you know, and I think probably if they would have done it like with his mother and like Robin and something like that, like, I just think it would have felt more like personable and like genuine. It just seemed like they just stuck it there towards the very end, and it was just to do it. Like, and that was just the part that was weird. It's not even that he came out, like, because I was like, I think everybody already knew that, and I don't think anybody was going to have a problem with it also, you know, like how they did it. I don't think any of his friends were going to have a problem with it, right? I mean, like, they all were all together anyways, like, no matter if he was gay or not, who cares, right? Like, and I think that's how his friends pretty much felt, and of course his mother. So it was just weird. It was just kind of the delivery of how they did it, you know. That was the only thing that got me.
They kind of make it out that if he didn't tell, it was a very bad thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be good. And I guess that kind of rubs me the wrong way too.
And I'm glad that we're all speaking about this, right? Because we all have some type of relation to give to this type of subject matter, especially you, MetaBeast. But I don't know, man. It's just the delivery of it. Like, it was unnecessary. And if they wanted to do this and wanted to drag it out, this was the wrong time to do it. Like, what a way to like really like put a flat tire on your show right at the very end, right? Like, because now the fans are so divided. Like, if you go on the internet, in fact, I think I pulled up a stat here. People aren't happy. I mean, this is the lowest ranked episode ever in the Stranger Things ever, right? And Stranger Things is like their moneymaker right here. And like, they had to do it at the very end. And I don't know why they did it, but they did it the way they did it. And this is what's going to happen. So the next question is, will this affect the series finale? Like, does it matter? I don't know, guys.
I don't know. I mean, the other thing is like, they were doing it so Vecna couldn't use this against, Will in the whole thing. But I think Vecna can still use it against Will, right? Because now it's out there that like Mike is his crush, the one he liked. So, I mean, I think Vecna probably being in his mind always knew this anyways, and was probably, I mean, I can see something where it's like Vecna's gonna like hold, Mike's life in peril, and Will has to make a choice or something, where I think it would have happened either way like that, if that's the way they're going to go. I don't know if it is, but I mean, I could see that still being a problem, for the way that they're trying to do it. And like MetaB said too, it's like, it's weird that they're like making it as like, it's a problem, like it's his weakness or something. Like it's just weird. It's strange. Like, I mean, and I know it's the 80s and stuff too, but like, these people have gone through hell together, right? Like, and if you're gonna let something like that really like break up your friendship, like, then that's just, I don't know, that just seems like it wouldn't happen pretty much. So I mean, especially at this point, season 5, like, yeah.
Well, Ronnie makes a good point, right? He says, technically, though, holding in information about yourself does create a monster inside. It does. Now, this is where the writers should have really fleshed this part out. If you really want to push an agenda, it's just the way you delivered it. At the very end, the penultimate episode, we only got like literally 10 minutes left. You steal 5 minutes of that 10 minutes of, which should be epicness, right? If you go look at season 4, the penultimate episode, the last 10 minutes was badass. Even the other ones past that, right? This was the only one where they chose to do this. They could have done it at the beginning of the season, at the middle of the season. They could have done it at the beginning of this episode, flesh this thing out. I feel like there's also scenes missing because, when he's like with Vecna and like he's trying to hold Vecna back, Will admits that, he was trying to think of his happy thoughts and all this stuff, right? But Vecna was able to tap into these other thoughts of him not liking girls and stuff and use it against him. I get that, and I get this is why the scene was done, but not at this time. This could have been done anytime throughout the season. They had so much fluff throughout this season where they could have cut out the fluff and added this in there to take time to flesh this out. Because even with him coming out and saying he don't like girls, did they even give that character enough time to breathe with this revelation? Because we're going right into like no holds barred life or death next, right? So
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The jealousy though he had of Mike and 11.
Yeah, but Mike, look at Mike's face in this. Mike looks so awkward, right? When he came out, it's like, and like also referring to "I liked you," right? And it's like, Mike looks like he was very awkward at that moment, and like that's also kind of like not what you want when you're going to go fight a demon. So I don't know.
I think he was just trying to clear the air, clear whatever was in his mind so he wouldn't be held back. And yeah, maybe Vecna would still use it in some parts, but at least in a way, yeah, he's put it out there for his friends and family to see. But yeah, the timing of when it should have been done, for me, yeah, I agree. Shouldn't have been when it happened in the last 5 minutes of the episode, because I'm sure we were all like, yeah, they have a plan. They're amped to go. They're going to go. Wait, hold up.
Yeah. Pump the brakes.
I'm like, oh, hell no. Yeah. Hell no.
Like, you're losing your momentum. And then after that, it's like, oh, okay, where were we? Let's keep going. It's like, it's not the same anymore.
And very over the top. Very over the top. But then again, I don't know how that feels like. And I know you do, MetaB. So maybe that over the top was actually, how it should be presented, but I don't know. It happened, and I guess we talked about it. That's the main thing, because I was trying to think myself, how are we going to talk about this, right? Because
just talk about it.
I'm sure we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this could have been done a better way or been left out. But hey, and I'm sorry if I'm insensitive to anybody. That's just me.
No, I don't feel you are.
But you know what I mean, right? I'm trying to be sensitive on matter.
I mean, no, it's.
But yeah, group hugs are awesome.
It did not.
Yes, I love group hugs.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I saw you looking at the next slide.
Yeah.
With...
So.
Oh, not that one.
No, so essentially now what's happening, guys, we know the plan. We know what Vecna's trying to do. He's already got the kids in a trance. And, you know, my last question, you guys, is what the hell is this?
A
Like, we're in
hand.
Is this what's behind Metabeast? Is this really the Mind Flare or the Thessalhydra? What is it,
Like
right?
part
Or
of it
what's the
sticking out.
abyss?
Yeah.
That's the next question, right? We never asked this question, and these are questions I wish they did bring up.
Is that
What
where
the hell
that
is
is?
the abyss?
Is that the abyss?
That's the
Yeah.
abyss.
Yeah, that's the abyss.
I think the
So-
abyss is another world. Like, I think,
sure.
you know, it's definitely
it's
another
another
world. I think that is the mind flare that he's inside, just upside down. Like, that's my take. And I think that it's coming where the mind flare is the one really pulling the strings, and Vecna is maybe getting his power from, you know, the mind flare. And that's, you know, what we're going to find out in the end. But then, you know, it's like, if the mind flare is the big bad the whole time, you know, then he hasn't really been flushed out very much, you know, from like the story. He's been like really behind in the shadows. So I don't know how they're going to fit all this into 2 hours. Like, that's
They're
the only
not.
thing.
The
Yeah.
Mind Flare is a smoke monster from Lost. That's all
Yep.
it is. That's what the Mind Flare is. This is, again, this is what they do. They write themselves in a corner where they write too much shit and they can't answer the shit that they wrote. And so it's all about character. They're going to tell you this excuse. This was always about the characters, right? But the only way they rope us in is with the mystery, right? What the upside down is, what the Mind Flare is, the Thessalhydra, all these things they brought up. There are things they brought up in season 4 that have not been addressed, like the battle at Hawkins. Is this the battle at Hawkins that Owens was talking about? Remember, Owens was like, there's a battle coming to Hawkins. Why did Owens say that? Where did Owens get that information from? Also, Dr. K says there are reinforcements on the way. Who is that? And what happened to Owens? And what happened to the lady that saved, 11 and all those people and brought them back to Hawkins in season 4, right? There was a lady, a government lady to help them, right? She knows where the cabin is. Where is she? So a lot of these are not being answered, but yay, at least we know that Will doesn't like girls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what Slider was saying just made me think that, and I hope it doesn't go this way, that in some sense, Vecna is going to end up kind of being a hero and have to turn around and fight the Flare and himself.
So Duffer's already said that he can't be saved, and he won't be. So the Duffer brothers said that Vecna will not be saved.
Oh, yeah.
So the Vecna we're seeing is the evil Vecna that will always be Vecna. But I at one time I felt the same way you did.
I'm not saying he's going to become good. I'm saying it's going to come to the point where,
like a Darth Vader
realizes he's been a puppet himself and has to, and so he fights for himself, not but not for them. No, that's not what I was thinking. And I still think that going that way just wouldn't.
Yeah, no, he's done too much bad.
But the big big question is, what is 11 gonna do?
That's very true, because Kali did say that she wants them to stay in the upside down, in the bridge, and they basically get sucked into the void, right?
She's right. They will just keep coming.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
unless they don't do it. Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with D. I think something is gonna happen, but I think the sacrifice is gonna be like 11 giving up her powers again or something. Like I don't think they're gonna kill 11 off. Like at this point, I just don't see them killing off anybody big besides maybe one person. That's just kind of my speculation.
You guys remember seeing Will, and they had the picture of the wormhole, the Einstein-Rosenthal bridge, and he was right at the center, his face.
His face on the board, yeah.
And that's kind of what we're looking right here. That's exactly what we saw with Will. Do you think Will is a Trojan horse for something bad? Because Vecna did say that. Yeah, like Vecna said that you're going to help me spy one last time. Now, we assumed it was because he didn't know where Max was. And that's another thing that I have a problem with. Like, you literally have been taunting everyone in this town for 18 months. You don't know where anyone exists. You don't know where Max is. Shut up. You know where all these kids were, and you didn't know where Max was. So like that scene where he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna find you and all that." I think there's more to that, and I think he is a spy, and I think Vecna knows exactly what's going on with this whole beanstalk plan.
And then another thing I wanted that maybe it took me a while, like when Vecna had Will and he was like, you know, you've been my vessel and you've been my builder. When he said that in the episode, it took me back to season 1. You know, when was it season 1? Yeah, when Will was drawing all those, you know, the pictures all across the kitchen, and how there were all the tunnels, right? And then that just like clicked to me, and maybe you guys figured it out before, but it only clicked to me when Vecna told him, "You've been my builder. You've been building every single night while you slept." I'm like, holy shit! The stuff that he was drawing in season 1, that was like him doing all the building and making all the tunnels and all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, that was a realization for me.
Somebody needs to die.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree. You know, and you know, I know that's MetaBeast's MO. That's literally how we met MetaBeast. Like someone's gonna die in the story.
Yeah.
I'm in the belief they do time travel restart. Oh no! See, that was a theory I heard too.
Oh God,
I don't want that.
Please, no.
I don't want that theory. Oh, but but I've heard that theory before as well. Because they are bringing up a lot of time travel tropes in here as well. You know, flux capacitor, right? Einstein-Rosenberg bridge, wormholes, exotic matter, all that stuff deals with time travel.
Yeah, the clock.
Yeah.
The clock.
Yeah.
The clock. Well, the clock is also like the ticking, the tick-tock is also used, you know, when people get hypnotized or put in a trance.
Yeah.
So that's also tied into to Henry / Vecna.
I don't want to watch the rest of it now.
What do you mean? You're one away.
It's like Game of Thrones.
I want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
I didn't watch the final season of Game of Thrones, and from the sound of it, I'm glad I did not.
And you're better off for it. Yeah, you're better off for it. But for this one,
questions, but you know, it sounds like exactly.
This one, I gotta know. I have to know. Like honestly, I think it'd be a cop out if they don't kill anyone. But a lot of people are in the belief now that they are not going to kill any characters. And you know what though? A lot of people were saying people were going to die. And that's the thing about fans, right? Like, I want them to die. I don't want this person to die. Why did you come out and say that you were gay? You know, all these things. Like everyone is just out here saying these things, right? We all complain about everything in the end. So
one funny thing that one funny scene that I enjoyed was when Murray and Callie and Elle are in the field next to the Santa truck, and the way that whoever took the video from their perspective was Elle and Callie were, you know, like meditating, and in the background Murray's like, fucking shit, like the truck doesn't start and blah 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 blah.
You don't love me?
Yeah, it's like chaotic behind, but then with Elle and Callie in the front, like just calm, or they look calm. It was like such a perspective, right? Like two different things happening at the same time. So I thought this scene right here was really cool.
Yeah, Callie though, I don't know what's going on with that. That just seems kind of weird too, because like she just comes back and then she's like telling everybody like what they have to do. You know, like you have to sacrifice yourself, and which I think, yeah, probably they're not going to stop coming after him. But it was just a weird thing that like they put her in there and kind of, I don't know if it was to build the tension between like Hopper and Elle, and that she's going to have to make a decision and all that kind of stuff. But it was kind of just strange that like she just came back and was like in that part. Like, I don't know. It just seemed like it was one of those things where they kind of just like maybe like stuck it in there to like move the story along, like, and like kind of do a little bit more like foreshadowing. So I just thought that was like a weird little thing.
Yeah. Ronnie says like she works for the government. That would be an interesting twist right there.
The kid?
Yeah, like Callie. Now, for me, I thought her being the way that she is, being very divisive the way she is, being fucking very like, you know, pushy. She's just literally been screwed by the government for like who knows how long. She's had her blood sucked out of her for who knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, she can tell you whatever the hell she wants because she can make you see anything, right? So really, is she bullshitting, right? We don't know. But we did see that one scene where she was like, it was like like from what is the Star Wars The Last Jedi? It's like, you know, she went and put her hand in there and, you know, she wasn't really there, right? Dr. K put her hand on Callie, she wasn't there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there was that scene too. But yeah, having her back, it's cool because it ties up a storyline because everyone was asking whatever happened to her, right? So here's again an obscure character that no one really cared about. They brought her back. They don't bring back the ones that people do care about, like Dr. Owens, but they bring her back, and like they put a wedge between her and Hopper. And I think that's why she's really here, is to have that wedge, right? To make Jane really double think, like, is she doing the right things? Now, what will she do? Will she actually stay in the Upside Down? Who knows? There has been leaks outside that says that Jane does not make it out, and maybe she's stuck in the abyss. Maybe that's where they are, or maybe this new show is in the abyss. Who knows, right?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, have you actually seen some of the leaked photos? I just saw them right before the stream where they they have the city like in Georgia where they like it was the last scene, and I guess it was like a whole bunch of extras, like lots of people, and they leaked some of the photos where it says like welcome back Hawkins, and like it shows like Hopper on the bench with I think like Mike, and then there's somebody else, I think Nancy's there, and like they're kind of like walking around. It looks like Hopper's back as being like the sheriff, and you know, supposedly they're legit, but I mean, you don't know. But still, like, if that's the case, that's why I'm kind of thinking like they're not killing anybody, because I couldn't see Hopper being the sheriff again if, you know, and Mike and them talking on the bench. If it's like, I mean, I don't know. I just if that's how it's going, I don't know. I'm just.
Would it be a bad thing? Would it be a bad thing that nobody died?
Or it could be like it could be like a time jump where, you know, you have flashbacks when something's bad is going to happen to you, and they actually show the flashbacks, and it takes you back to like season 1, the first 3 episodes.
Think Goonies, no one dies.
Could be, yeah, but I think they built it up so much that it would, you know, it's just like the whole story is that like he is this huge bad villain and nothing, you know. That's what I'm saying. If you think of any story arc that's had like a crazy villain, like, you know, Thanos, you know, like he kills his own daughter, you know, like, I mean, multiple people die in that. Like I said, Star Wars throughout it, you know, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, you know, I mean, even Yoda disappeared.
Star Trek people die in Star Trek. Spock, they killed him. So.
But then they brought him back. But still,
okay. You know what I mean?
Data. You know, Data died. We thought he was dead for a long time, and then he kind of came back.
They killed him 3 times. We're not gonna talk about Data.
Yeah,
they just reboot him.
But still, you know, it's like I just think somebody has to die. Like, I don't think it'll ruin the whole thing, but it's gonna really like taint it for me. I mean, I still like the whole show overall, and I think it's good. And it, you know, I like season 1 too, and I just think it like really like captured something, you know, with the nostalgia and just the whole thing. I really like the show overall, but like I just don't want it to end up being like Lost, you know, where it's like I really enjoyed it and then the end was just kind of like you know, like I get why they did it, but still.
So I actually enjoyed Lost's ending, and I understood it. I understood where Damon Lindelof was going, but I know a lot of people aren't religious, so I get it. But I don't want this ending up like a Game of Thrones. But I think at the end of the day,
please don't.
It's what's going to happen. What we're seeing here is what's going to happen. So let's talk about what we think might happen with Speculation Nation. And here, guys, we always go to the AI to see what the AI thinks is going to happen by scouring the internet for all this stuff on Reddit and blogs. And let's go with the theories here, guys. Theory number 1, the Exotic Matter Suicide Pact. Volume 2 confirmed that the Upside Down isn't a world, but a bridge held together by exotic matter. The leading theory is that destroying the bridge is the only way to sever the connection to the abyss. Here's the theory. The group realizes they can't kill Vecna directly. Instead, they have to destroy the bridge. Here's the cost of it all. Destroying the bridge will likely cause a massive vacuum implosion, potentially wiping out Hawkins entirely. The Suicide Pact speculation suggests 11 will have to hold the explosion back just long enough for the others to escape, sacrificing herself and saving the town or what's left of it. Speculation number 2. Will Byers is the constant. He's the time loop. With the reveal that the Upside Down is unsustainable, the time loop theory has gained massive traction. Here's the theory. The show ends up exactly where it began in November 6, 1983. Here's Big Bro's time travel theory. To stop the Abyss from ever leaking through, Will, who is now connected to the hive mind, might have to use his powers to send a warning back to his younger self, or perhaps alter the timeline so he never gets taken. The twist, this would erase the last few years of memories. The party would be safe, but they wouldn't remember each other or the adventures they had. It's a bittersweet reset ending. Here's number 3. Holly Wheeler, the new vessel. Max escapes Camazotz, but Holly was left behind. Vecna doesn't need Max anymore. He has a new, younger, more malleable vessel in Holly. The finale will force Mike and Nancy to make an impossible choice to destroy Vecna. They might have to attack the vessel, their own sister, and kill her in order to save everyone off. Here's the payoff. This gives Karen Wheeler, who finally joined the action Volume 2, a major role. She might be the only one who can reach Holly inside the mindscape, possibly sacrificing herself to save her daughter. And maybe the mom will finally die, guys. And then here's 2 more speculations, and I'll get to you guys. The Dungeons Master ending, Will versus Henry. Here's the theory. This isn't a physical fight. It's a battle of wills. Vecna represents the hatred and isolation. Will represents the connection of love and rainbows. It said rainbows. The climax. Will enters the Abyss not to punch Vecna, but to hijack the hive mind. He becomes the new dungeon master of the dimension, turning the monsters against Henry. Will effectively becomes the new benevolent god of the Upside Down, sealing it from the inside and staying there forever to keep everyone safe. And here's the final speculation from the bot. The redemption of Henry. This is controversial, but the reveal that the Abyss predates Henry suggests he is just a parasite, not the source. 11 realizes Henry is just a traumatized host for the Abyss entity, the Mind Flayer. She doesn't kill him. She cures him by stripping away the corruption of the Abyss. Henry Creel dies as a human, not as a monster, finally finding peace. This breaks the link, causing the Abyss to recoil and causing the wormhole naturally to subside. Those are 5 speculations. Go ahead.
That brings me back to the memory cave. What was that all about? The guy with the suitcase and the gun.
Well, yeah. What was in the suitcase?
We saw smoke come out.
What was going on there?
It could be the essence, like, right? You know, like they have that
the smoke
come out
monster.
of their mouth.
Yeah.
That could be parts of the Mind Flayer, right? In that container. But who's that guy?
Smoking is bad.
No, I'm trying to say, like, when Holly pull out that thing. Hey, man,
they're keep talking smoke monster. Are they trying to say
saying a lot of things?
Smoking is bad, okay?
They're trying to say a lot of things, but that could be the essence that came out, like, with Holly when she pulled out the little gooey shit out of her mouth. The tentacle. Yeah, that could be that essence that was in that suitcase. And maybe, see, here's another thing, right? Did that guy's clothes exist for that time period? Like, look at that guy's clothes, and then look at, like, Henry's clothes, right? Like, like that looked like a scientist, right? That was in the cave.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the Russian scientist who stole the particles or whatever that they kind of explained, I guess, in the play. And that was supposed to be him, like, trying to escape, and that's how he ran into Henry, and that's how Henry basically kind of opened up the case and got the particles, and that's what, like, transformed him or whatever. Like, that was kind of how they didn't exactly say that, but I guess they did say that was, like, the scientist who was basically, like, part of the original experiment, and he was stealing those for the Russians.
You see, now here's a problem I have with this play. Nobody's watched it.
Yeah,
so
right.
If you're going to incorporate something that no one's seen and not give us reference points for something like this because we haven't seen it, it's just convoluted at best. And then we're going to be talking about this, wondering who the hell is that?
There's a play.
There's a play that explains Henry's origins.
Yeah.
So, and see, Justice for, and then also Barb. But my whole point is, it's like, for me, that looked like a scientist from Hawkins, right? but now you're saying this is like somebody completely different. So
he was like a double.
folks,
He was like a double agent. Like, I guess he was like a scientist working in the laboratory in the 50s, and he was really a double agent, like scientist for the Russians, is what they said. And he ended up stealing those particles. That's how he ended up in the cave, and then that's how he ran into Henry. Like at least that's what supposedly the play says about it. Like, when I researched it, and supposedly that guy is a scientist and supposedly a Russian agent. So
where did the particles come from, though?
I think it was
why
when
was
Brenner
Henry-
originally did it. His father and Brenner like started it before. Like, they were doing this like stuff way back in the 50s and everything. Like, they had these particles then.
Are you talking about like these exotic particles, right?
No, well, that's the thing. They're supposed to reveal it. It's either like Henry's blood or Brenner. Yeah, see, this is where it gets confusing, because Brenner's father like survived the experiment with like the ship or something, which is the first time that they encountered like this dimension, and then they used Henry's blood or something, and like I don't know how he has the blood or whatever, but like supposedly that's where they're supposed to reveal more in this second 2 hours. Like, they said they're going to go back and explain more of this stuff.
You bring something up really. There's a scene here that I remember I pulled out. This right here, where Hopper's saying, wherever this blood leads, remember in the trailer, wherever this blood leads, let's do this one last time, kid. I remember him saying that. So, and this is the scene where he's actually telling her that. So, like, looks like they're going to utilize the blood in some way to kind of like explain something in the finale, right? But I just remember him saying that in the trailer. So
yeah, but it is confusing with all the stuff and the plays and everything, and like trying to research it and figure out what the heck is going on. So yeah, I don't know, but that's all I know is they just said that it's supposed to be a Russian scientist that was stealing the particles or the blood, trying to take it back to the Russians.
All right, so we're at an hour here, guys. Let's get our final takes on this, and give me your speculation, nation. What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to die? We're going to go with MetaBeast first.
I'm going to stick kind of with the one that I don't want to happen because of some Slider said, and then because of your little bot there that, yeah, I think in a sense, Henry's gonna end up helping save them, not necessarily willingly, but because it's to try to save himself as well.
Okay,
that's my guess. I think.
Who's dying?
Huh?
Who's gonna die?
No one's gonna die. I agree. I asked AI why have none of the main characters die, and it's basically a tribute to the 80s, and in 80s movies like that, the kids don't die. It's side characters and stuff to prove that the threat is real, but the main characters won't die. Which is kind of true. Pretty true.
Christmas special, guys. Christmas special. What about you, Slider? Who's dying? What's happening? Talk to me.
Oh man. Yeah, okay. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna go try to blow up the upside down to collapse the wormhole. I don't think it's gonna work. I think that Callie is gonna turn kind of on 11 because she's gonna not sacrifice herself, and Callie's gonna try to force her. Something's gonna happen there. I think with 11's gonna be in the mindscape fighting Vecna, basically. I think she's gonna somehow go through the memories, connect with Henry, and try to like persuade him to not do this, and remind him of how he was before. And I don't think it's going to work. I think she's going to end up having to sacrifice herself some way, maybe not physically. I think it's more going to be like she loses her powers or she gets stranded, something like that. I don't think they're going to kill her. I just don't think anybody major is going to die. Like maybe, like you said, the mother might end up dying. I could possibly see that, but I don't see anybody else. So
Dr. K's gotta go.
Yeah, it could be some of them, yeah. But yeah, I don't. That's what I see.
Well, she slammed that soldier up against the thing and fucking really New one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You
grab
know what?
his lips.
You better shut your mouth. Right? It's like, damn.
It's like I fought a Terminator.
That's right. Don't piss her off, man. But like again, like I said, she has no emotional attachment to any of them. I mean, look at her. She's like draining people. She's draining their blood to make babies. It's nuts. She's a menace. I don't know who's worse, her or Vecna.
She's a mad scientist.
D, who's dying? Final thoughts.
If someone were to die, yeah, I think it would be 11. Just because of what Callie's told her. And I think Callie is there for a reason, not just as she's a bystander, she's an observer, because they show her when they panel to Callie, she's like kind of around the corner, kind of lurking. And I think she's there to make sure the job gets done.
Yeah. Well, that's for her.
Yeah.
She's got a hidden
very
agenda.
adamant on what needs to be done. The only solution is that they both die, and I'm sure she's there to she's going to make sure that it happens, or die trying.
Yeah. Die trying. And then another two was just because of what they said. You die, I die. Was Dustin and Steve. I don't know. Maybe they might do something because they're both crazy. And I think that dipshit Derek, or delightful Derek, is gonna help Holly in the end to escape, because when they ganged up on her and he was kind of like in the background. I mean, he was threatened by Vecna that his family was gonna die, and so that's why he kind of like responded the way he did, because I mean he's a scared kid and he's like, no, like what he's saying is true. But you can see, or at least for me, there's like a little bit of him that's like he does still want to help Holly.
Yeah.
So I think at the end, Derek is gonna come and save the day, at least in my perfect world. And she's gonna get out of there. But yeah, something major will happen. I hope something major happens and we can close this story, because I don't want to reboot or prequel or prelude or sequel.
Well, it
I
sounds
just want
like
it
you're
to be
getting one.
done. No, I'm gonna boycott that. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
I'm pretty much on a line with you guys on what might happen here. But here's the thing, like going back to the bot, I really like this notion about the whole time travel theory, right? Where Will is the time loop and he goes back and he changes things. I like that, and I can see that happening because they do have added tropes of Back to the Future in this. But honestly, I think what's really going to happen is there's going to be a battle. I think Holly and also Derek is going to be pivotal in trying to stop Vecna now, because you got to think now. Will can tap into into the mind, right? Or what do they call that? He can tap into the freaking hive mind. Yeah.
Hive, yeah.
Well, who else is tapped into the hive mind? All those 12 kids, right? As well as Holly and Derek, right? What better way but to have these kids overpower the boogeyman who kidnapped them, right? Like really have a taste of your own medicine. So I think something like that will happen. Another thing that I think is going to happen is I think Steve is going to die. Now, you guys may think I'm wrong. Hear me out. He is one of the most beloved characters that was supposed to die in season 1. Now, I thought Hopper was going to die, but like because of what Slider just said about the leak, it sounds like Hopper survives. So it sounds like Will survives too. That could be completely wrong, by the way. That could be AI sloppy looked at. We don't know. But I think to have some kind of emotional impact, even now, killing Steve off will do that, because everyone loves Steve. He was supposed to die in season 1. He was supposed to be gone. I also think something will happen to 11. I don't think she'll die, but I think like in the end, she won't be in the void. She'll instead be in the abyss. We're not talking about like, because these are 2 dimensions that will separate at the end of the season, right? It's the upside down that'll go away, but the abyss will still exist because it's a universe, right? No one's talking about any of these characters being stuck there, right? And so you could see 11. She finally gets her waterfall in the abyss. And because 11 is just like Vecna, she can make the Abyss look like however she wants because she's that powerful. So what if that happens, right? You know, so, and then obviously the connection is, what if you could visit her like from time to time? Maybe that might happen. That is something that could happen, but I think there should be an emotional death. Now, will Steve die? Who knows? Maybe they won't kill anybody because, what's his face is right. Think Goonies, nobody dies. So that's kind of where we're at right here. Plus, I love this picture, guys, of the upside down and depiction.
I do. So, yeah, I do too.
But I'm invested in this show. I want to see where they go. I still think someone's going to kick the bucket. It just makes sense. The cast is so big that they can at least kill off like some of the B characters, right? You could get rid of Murray and still be emotional. You could get rid of Robin and still be emotional, right? You can get rid of all these people. Even Dr. Clark could disappear and it'd be emotional. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Big Bro, Back to the Future ending with 11 being Doc Brown stuck in the current timeline. Yes, or stuck in the Abyss. I think like one place for her to get stuck in is the Abyss because no one says she has to be in the Upside Down when the bridge closes. She can be on one side or the other because the government is not in the Abyss. No one says she has to die. You know what I mean? It's Callie saying that. Well, yeah, but Callie's not saying just stay on the other side of the bridge, right? They won't find you there. So,
but the government obviously knows it's there. They would work towards finding a way to get back there and get her.
Not if 11 and Callie are gone, though. They're the whole reasons why those opened up. The whole reason that they created the bridge is 11 found Henry. If you take away the blood and you take away all these like special humans, like they could try to reduplicate it, but they needed Henry, they needed 11, and it sounds like they needed Callie. Henry's going to be dead, and I don't know about Callie, but like if they can just stay away from our prime timeline universe, that gets them away from everything. Now, here's the one thing that I really hope happens. Owen shows up at the end, and the reinforcements are the good guys, if that's even a real thing, right? But they got to bring that guy back because not bringing him back, he's also a favorite character, would really suck.
He's going to cross
plus
the streams.
He helped a lot.
Yes, and I want to go to that revelation where it's like there's a war coming to Hawkins. I remember that. Is this the war?
Yeah.
And if you guys knew about this war, where the hell are you? Where's the government people that knew about this war? What's the war about, right? Like this is a completely different story we're watching about Vecna stealing these kids. Is this the war they knew? How'd they know about this, right? All these questions I'm wanting to understand because this happened in the previous season. It's not like this was like 1, 2, or 3. This happened in the 4th season where Owens took her to the desert to train so she could be prepared for this fight. But this doesn't feel like a coordinated fight. This doesn't feel like there's a war. This feels like they're fighting Vecna because Vecna stole these kids and they want to bridge these two universes together. Is that a war?
No, the military too. It seems like the military in this one is only looking for 11. Like that's their only mission. They're not like fighting a war. They only care about finding 11 and making more children. That's it. So yeah, I get what you're saying. It doesn't really fit.
Because Owens is in the present time, 2025, watching reruns, so he knows what's going to happen. And that's why he knows everything. And they're all just in this illusion.
This is what you don't want to happen in a TV show that you've been invested for a decade. I was telling MetaBeast, 10 years. 10 years. I mean, my daughter was 2 when this show started, right? Now she's 12, so take that to the bank.
Or I think Will, Callie, and 11 could all team up and somehow use all their powers and their hiveness to battle Vecna.
Man, I don't know. But you know what? I hope for the best, and I hope the final episode has like the best emotional moments along with the most killer retro score out there because I do love the soundtrack to this show. I think if this show never had this soundtrack behind it, it would really be a completely different show. Don't say that, Big Bro. I'm not mad at Stranger Things. I'm just disappointed. No. We got one more episode. They got one more to redeem it. They can redeem themselves with what they did here. They can do
I
this.
think they got all the mushy emotional stuff out this past episode. So
I hope so.
Well done.
Now we're like battle.
I know. If people start riding in on ponies, I'm going to be upset. Okay. So, anyways,
well,
guys,
there are
final
rainbows
words,
in the show. So,
and we will get out of here, guys. Slider, final words, my friend.
Yeah, I hope they really like explain a little bit more about what's going on, kind of tie things up a little bit, and I hope they make the stakes actually like high, like they're supposed to be. I think I think they really have to start to kill some people off, but now I think they're making it to where it's like they didn't want like a red wedding type of thing with the Game of Thrones. And now I feel like if they do start killing people off, like that's what it's going to feel like. So I think they might be stuck to the point where like they're just not going to do it. That's why I just keep kind of thinking like they box themselves in. But I hopefully they like have some crazy ending and like it just surprises us all and it's just like really amazing. Like I'm hoping for that. And like that's why, and then all this will kind of make sense and it'll all work together and like, but I just don't know if that's going to happen, but I guess we'll see in, a few days.
Yep, exactly. A few days.
MOVAVI, you've caught up, my friend. Final words.
It's funny Slider said that because I was thinking, look over here, guys. See what's going on over here. Don't mind what's over here. Look what's over here. Yeah. Evil's going to triumph for once.
You think so?
No.
I really hope so. I hope you're right. No, we need something like that. Like, from Storytime days, right? Like, haven't we been disappointed with the fluff of how things turned out from A to B? Wouldn't you want something a little bit more? You got to add some dread.
Definitely make it interesting. Yes.
Yes. I agree, MOVAVI. D, final words.
Yeah, I hope we get some closure or some explanation on some things that we have questions on. I'm actually looking forward to it. And, I'm not sure if you guys are going to go see it in theater or whatever. But, we're not. But whoever else is watching that's going to see it in theater, let me know how the experience is. But, yeah, I can't wait to talk about it the day after it comes out. Well, it's still fresh and hopefully, if you don't want to know what actually happens, stay off the internet until you see it. Or just scroll past anything that looks similar, familiar to spoilers. What? What'd you say, MOVAVI?
So you said you hope there's some kind of closure. If Evil actually did win, would that be closure for you? It would be a kind of closure.
It would be a closure if there was like the explanation. Then, yeah. Don't just leave me like don't leave me on a cliffhanger because this is irritating as AF. Yeah. Give me peace.
Silver lining. At least the show didn't get canceled. Exactly, Ronnie. Like every other good show on Netflix before. Exactly. Like the OA, you guys.
Oh, the OA. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, and Mindhunter. You're right. That was a good show too. Oh, shout out to My Collectibles. My Collectibles. Hey, guys, sending big love from Mexico. Mexico. Are you at the beach, man? I remember the last time you were at the beach. Hope you have a great holiday. Yeah, you too, man. Happy New Year and enjoy your guys' trip. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's see here. Okay, but D would.
Oh, that's the one you just talked about.
Okay. Yeah, man. Guys, have a happy New Year. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna find out
on the other side.
We have no say in the matter anyway. So whatever it is,
they're not gonna listen to us.
And then we can
they're not gonna
bitch or cheer about it next.
No, but you know what? This has been a fun journey because the one thing that I do love about this show is it really brought back the love of how much I miss the 80s. Like just remembering, like, you watch this entire season, right? Like from the start of the season to now, like it's been a really fun remembrance of what that time period felt like, guys, because I lived that time period. I know some of these people in the chat lived that time period. I remember the corded phones. I remember playing D&D. I remember riding my bike late at home and staying out late. I remember having the walkie-talkies, you guys. I had an Emerson walkie-talkie, and that thing, that's how I talked to my friends. They were like miles away, and I would be able to like get them on the walkie-talkie. So that was a real thing back then. That's how we communicated. Bikes and everything, the arcade, a lot of that really resonated with me. And that's what I love the most about this. And what was so cool about this show is my daughter got into it. We could resonate with her about that. There's characters that she loves. There's characters that I love. And, you know, it's really brought back that nostalgia resparked. So I've really been enjoying this decade of Stranger Things. And in some ways, it's really helped us here in the Web3 space because of that nostalgia. So shout out to everybody that's in the chats right here. Guys, this has been the Severed Floor. I hope everybody has a really good New Year's right there. And my collectibles, we all need to experience the true beaches of Hawaii meetup. Yes. Are you foreseeing an Aulani trip to Disney? That would be awesome. Just throwing that out there to the gods that are listening in the back of the room. That would be great. But guys, happy New Year's. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We are going to be back next week to review the final episode next week, Sunday. And that's the only reason why some of the cast members couldn't make it today, because, you know, family, everyone's out right now. It's the holidays. You just saw MC, he's in Mexico. But we wanted to get this out because of spoilers. That's why we're reviewing the 3 episodes today. And same thing, we're going to get out and we're going to review this on Sunday next week because spoilers is all going to come out. We're going to see where this ends, guys. But thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate everyone for tuning in every single time. Tune back in on Tuesday for Virtual Radio, which will be our final show of the year for True Media. And then, guys, if you haven't watched Aloha Friday, where we had a bunch of special guests on, like Slider, we also had David and Dan, as well as Fro and Bro Productions on. Go check that out as well. It was a fun conversation. Guys, we love you. Take care. Until the next time, we'll see you. Aloha.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Wrong button. Look at that. Rusty already. I'm fired.